The first thing we need to decide is what an anti-fan is. And this is a person who supports the reboot, reimagining, spin off, sequel, prequel of an already existing IP, which has a vibrant fan base. And this reimagining is fundamentally changing parts of the IP in order to please the American identity politics. So you can see that happening with Ghostbusters. Like they're doing a reimagining, and now it's a female Ghostbusters. They're doing it with Terminator, and now it's the Waminator, as they dubbed it. The original people that support the IP, they're noticing a couple of changes, and they don't like it. You know, they don't like the fact that John Connor is being murdered in the beginning just to replace him with a female character for the sole purpose that she's female, and now it's modern day audience. You know, they support this agenda. They do not like the fact that John Connor's mother is considering herself to be just a womb, and like the only reason for her existence is to give birth, something that the original character would never have said, right? So this is when you have the fans that are being upset about fundamental changes in their IP. They're upset that the script doesn't make sense, the characters don't talk like humans anymore, because the universe is not designed to tell a story. It's not designed to see where those characters would go. Now the universe is designed to push the writer's politics, and the anti-fan supports this. It's also about desexualizing characters. So, for example, if you have Lara Croft, she's really beautiful, and then in a future installment, they would make her ugly. If you have Mortal Kombat, which has sex and violence, like that's literally the appeal. That's why people purchase the game. And then all of a sudden, they remove the sexuality from the game. And people complain. The anti-fan will come on and it will be like, well, why do you care? They do it the same with kids' cartoons. Like, for example, Thundercats. You look at the new one, it's like, oh, why do you care? It's made for kids, which basically states like, yeah, they're not giving a fuck. Like, they're going to trash it anyway. Yeah, they're using an IP that basically tries to get you to watch because it reminds you of your childhood and it banks on nostalgia. And it wants you to start watching it and hopefully bring your kids to watch as well. But then it's like, well, it's made for kids. Even though, like, when you go to a screening, a cinema, you know, even if it's a Walt Disney movie or a kids movie, you will see adults there as well. You know, like they're not telling adults they're not allowed to see it because it's made for kids. What they're doing is an appeal to triviality, which is a logical fallacy where someone involved in an argument says the issue being argued doesn't matter in an attempt to shame their opponents into giving up so that their side can push the agenda unopposed. And as you can see, it's easily countered by telling them to shut up and go away if they don't actually care. Like, literally, just do that, and you'll see it, how they react on Facebook, on Twitter. Whenever they bring up the fact, it's like, well, why do you care? You can say, look, I care. If you got nothing positive to add, get away. You know, like if you don't have anything to add to the conversation because you don't care, I understand that, but why are you here? And it makes sense why you care. Because you're willing to pay usually $70 in order to purchase a product. Like, obviously you care about. The idea that people shouldn't care about their hobbies is absolutely ridiculous. Like, if someone likes to make bottles that have ships inside it, like, obviously they care. You know, for you, it's just a bottle with a ship. For that person, it's a lot of work. So if you go to a person that likes to do that as a hobby, and you smash his bottles, obviously he's going to be outraged. Obviously he's going to start screaming, right? And to answer, it's like, well, why do you care? Is a ridiculous point. Like a world where no one cares about their hobbies would mean that people would be apathetic about everything. And again, you know, like you have these corporations that spend millions of dollars on marketing in order to get people to care. Like that is the whole purpose. So if someone is excited about the reimagining and someone is cheering, they will not go to that person and say, well, why do you care? It's just a movie. Why do you care if, like, the new female Ghostbusters are all female? Like, what is in it to you? Right? That's pretty much what they're doing, but on reverse. And you can tell that it's a disingenuous argument. Like, they know exactly why you care. Because otherwise, they would apply this argument consistently. They would also apply it to the people that care in a positive way. They do the same with review bombing, right? Like, they get upset when people give negative scores, but they don't cheer when people give positive scores. Like, I'm pretty sure that if you look at The Little Mermaid, right, where people are upset that they casted Black Ariel, there may be a lot of people that gave it a 10 out of 10 just because they casted the Black Ariel, just because of the political messages. But those reviews, for some reason, are considered sacred, holy, and just. But if you go there and you say, well, I don't like the fact that they casted the Black Ariel because I'm used to this character being white. Oh, well, that's racist. Right? Like, that is absurd. That is over the pale. Like, you're not allowed to say that. That is review bombing. Rotten Tomatoes should delete your review because it's a disingenuous review. Right? It's the same thing that's happening with Skullgirls. Like, you go on Steam and you give, like, 10 out of 10 to Skullgirls because you really like the fact that they removed the Nazi imagery and they censored the nasty depictions over there. Right? Like, that is what a good moral person does, a pillar of the community, an ally of the developers, an ally of multi-billion-dollar corporations and BlackRock everywhere. But if you go and you give a negative review, you say, look, I don't like the fact that I supported this game, which advertised itself for its fan service, and now it's removing that, so I feel like I've been robbed. Well, then Steam needs to hide your review. You're a bad person, a bad man. You should never show your face in public again. You're a degenerate. Vote for Ron DeSantis because he's going to show these degenerates what's up by, sanitizing art and punishing Disney for. But anyway, right? I digress. That's my point, right? So this is probably the most common argument that I have seen them use on all social medias. I'm pretty sure you guys encountered it as well, because these individuals that are anti-fans aren't very original. They don't really formulate their own train of thought. The reason they even say these things and the reason they're even aggressive towards fans from IPs they literally don't care about is so that other people in their circle can see what excellent human beings are, right? Like that is their standard of judging others. It's not based on action. It's based on what they say. Right, so as long as you show to other people that you have the correct talking points, even if you believe them or not, then you get progressive points, and it's how you climb the progressive ladder, and it's how you show that you're a good ally and shit, right? So just tell them, look, if you don't care, then why are you part of the conversation? This is a conversation for people who care, and they usually get infuriated. Because usually I see like the answer is like, well, if you don't care, then why are you responding to the people who care, right? And by the way, another version is then why are you crying about it, right? So like they consider customer feedback as crying, and the answer is that I'm allowed to be emotional over the hobbies that I like. Okay, I'm pretty sure you're emotional about other hobbies. Like, let me look at your likes because they're public. Oh, look, you're into furry diaper porn. Yeah, I'm pretty sure like if someone removed the diapers from the furries, you'd be crying. Right, so why can't you be tolerant? Why can't you be empathetic? Like, if you know that your hobby would be affected and you would start crying, then why don't you understand that other people may be affected when their hobby is being changed? So yeah, it is what it is. I'm pretty sure like most of you guys have noticed, because I went on Twitter and I saw a lot of individuals actually saying this. It's like ever since V brought it up, we can't stop but noticing how all of these individuals have their likes public. And when we look at them, it's the same stuff over and over. Like, the more likely they are to shame someone, the more degenerate the stuff that they're in. Let me know what you guys think, and as usual, I will see you in the comment section. Take care.